Sanibonani, igama lami nguKwazi Kwaza, nginiphathele indaba ebeyihamba phambili Kulelisonto.
This is Eyewitness News.
Abameli bakaNandipha Magudumana bathi kumele ijeziswe iy'phathimandla eziphoqa uMagudumana ukuthi aphokelele ukuya enkantolo kaMantshi yaseBloemfontein ngoLwesithathu nakube engazizwa kahle. uMagudumana usevulela umnyango wezamajele icala ngakubiza ngokushaywa kwakhe ojele esesitokisini, bamhudula bamyisa ngenkani eBloemfontein. Kwakumele avele nesoka lakhe iselelesi uThabo Bester nabanye abasolwa phambi kwaleya nkantolo, kodwa wagcina engavelanga. Kuthiwa waquleka esendleleni yakhona ekuseni. Umeli wakhe uthi kwakungamele nokuthi akhishwe esitokisini engaphilile. Kanti-ke kusenjalo ahoxisiwe amacala kwabanye abasolwa abathathu ababe abasebenzi benkampani i-G4S. Icala lihlehliselwe uNhlolanja wonyaka ozayo. Kanti-ke kwelikaMeyiwa Kulelisonto inkantolo ephakeme yasePitoli izwe ukuthi akukho nobuncane ubufakazi be-DNA obatholakala kwaKhumalo eFosloras ngelanga ekwabulawa ngalo uSenzo Meyiwa, obukhomba ngisho nakoyedwa wabasolwa abethweswe icala lokumbulala. Belisaqhubeka namhlanje icala, naye intatheli yethu uRhomutso Modise nombiko ogcwele.
The last few months in the Senzo Meyiwa trial have been a build-up to this very moment. The trial within a trial on the admissibility of alleged confession statements by two of the accused. According to the state, two of the accused number 1 and 2, confessed to the crime. And so today we saw witnesses testifying. These are state witnesses, both police officers, testifying on what happened on the day that Kulelisonto made his confession. We heard from a senior retired police officer, Colonel Mboto, who told the court how he followed due process when taking down the confession statements, even advising Sibiya to get legal representation, but Sibiya refused, saying he was ready to confess. He says Sibiya made the statement freely and voluntarily, and he seemed positive as he was speaking and essentially implicating himself in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. We also heard from a second police officer, that is a Constable Munareng, who is stationed at the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department under the SWAT department. And Munareng told the court that he transported Sibiya to the Diepkloof police station where he made his confession. Both police officers insist that Sibiya did not seem like he was injured or beaten at that time. In fact, he only had handcuffs at that time, and so they have dismissed the claims by the defense that Sibiya was beaten. On the other hand, the defense insists that Sibiya was not only suffocated, but he was beaten thrice at different stations before he made his confession. Sibiya's lawyer, Sipora Mosipeli, told the court that Sibiya was fearing for his life when he confessed to the crime, and so he's argued against the admissibility of the statement. The matter resumes on Monday in the Pretoria High Court. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
The Department of International Relations says it's been notified that 2 South Africans have been killed in the conflict gripping the Middle East. In the early hours of Saturday morning, the militant wing of Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israel from Gaza. The conflict has since descended into a full-blown war, with Israel unleashing rockets on Gaza in response. Thousands of people have been killed so far. Here's DIRCO spokesperson Clayson Munyela.
The Department of International Relations and Cooperation can confirm that we have been notified that 2 South African nationals have died in this ongoing conflict between Palestine and Israel. The verification process is currently underway because one of the individuals is reported to have an Israeli ID number. So we need to determine whether there is dual citizenship or what the picture is. On behalf of the South African government, we'd like to pass a message of sincere condolences to the families and the loved ones of our 2 nationals. Our missions in Ramallah and Tel Aviv are coordinating efforts and also rendering consular assistance and services to the families of our nationals.
Inhlangano yesiphambano esibovu ithi usizo olubhekene nezakhamuzi zakwa-Israel nezaseGaza njengamanje kalibekezeleki. I-International Committee of the Red Cross ibiphawula ngempi kumanje nje eqhubekayo phakathi kwesizwe sakwa-Israel nesama-Palestina. Balinganisela okungenani eyinkulungwane abantu asebeshonile kule mpi nequbuke ngempelasonto esiphuma kuyona.
Civilians on both sides, in Israel and in Gaza, are suffering. They have been suffering. They have endured days and nights of sirens, explosions, desperately trying to contact their family members, panicking when they are unable to. And we are really concerned about any potential continuation of this escalation.
Abakwa-Statistics South Africa banikele kuMengameli Cyril Ramaphosa umbiko oqukethe imiphumela yobalo lwabantu lwakabusha phecelezi census ePitoli ngasekuqaleni kwesonto. Le mphumela isithatha isikhathi eside kakhulu kwazise yagcina ukuphuma eminyakeni engaphezu kweshumi edlule. Lo mbiko uqukethe imininingwane ngenani labantu abakhona kulelizwe njengamanje, amanani ngokobuhlanga, ukuthi bahlala kuphi kanye nokunye. Le mininingwane ibaluleke kakhulu ekusizeni uhulumeni ekwenzeni inqumo eziphathelene kakhulukazi nokuhlinzekwa kwezidingonqangi.
Let us look at black Africans. They are sitting at 55 million. That is, they account for 81.4% of the population. Colored population group 5.1 million, accounting for 8.1%. And indeed, let us look at the white population group, 4.5 million, accounting for 7.3%, and the Indian Asians, 1.7 million, accounting for 2.7%, and those who didn't specify at 200,000. So now, we want to start with the most spoken language, that is isiZulu, 24.4%. And we can see it's predominantly in KwaZulu-Natal, a bit in Mpumalanga, and of course some parts of the Free State. We can see it, we can look at the blue color. isiXhosa, largely in the Eastern Cape, a bit in KwaZulu-Natal, a bit in the Northern Cape.
Amaphoyisa asathungatha abalisa abayisithupha abadubula babulala umfundisi emiphambi kwebandla eshumayela esontweni Eagle Christian Center eNewlands eGoli ngoLwesihlanu olwedlule. Ividiyo yokubulawa kukaDwayne Gordon yasakazwa bukhoma ekhasini likaFacebook laleli sonto. Kunamanye amalungu ebandla amabili athola imhuzukwane kuloku kuhlasela.
The enemy will come in like a flood. The Bible says, and the Spirit of the Lord will raise a mighty standard.
Well, it's a sad time for the community of Newlands in Sophia Town, and specifically the community and congregants of the Eagle Christian Center, where a tragedy unfolded on Friday evening when the guest pastor, Dwayne Gordon, was preaching at a service as part of their restoration conference when armed gunmen stormed this church using this small gate behind me and robbed the congregants of their cell phones and belongings as well as cash before firing several shots that claimed the life of Pastor Dwayne Gordon and injured another congregant. We've spoken to some of the congregants who were in the church at the time, and Bishop Randall Kutsia had this to tell us.
So you can see he got shot in the chest from a upward position. The bullet came right out of his back and ricocheted off the wall here. This is the second guy that got shot.
The church is still questioning as to what the exact motive of this tragedy was, but the church, which is run by Pastor Mervyn and his wife Maria Camphor, claim that it was a botched robbery from what they understand. But a very tragic time for the community of Newlands as well as the Eagle Christian Center, who are grieving and mourning at this point in time. For Eyewitness News, I'm Oren Singh in Newlands.
Isonto siliphetha ngomliso sematheni kulezi insuku. uMatthew Lani uthi udokotela la ku social media futhi unayo yonke inhlobo yesiqu. Kodwa umnyango wezemfundo eGauteng usuthe akanawo ngisho umatikuletsheni. Kuthiwa wagcina ebhalise primary nalapho ehluleka nakhona wagcina edluliselwe esikoleni sabafundi abadinga isineke.
When did I finish Matric? Okay, so firstly, I don't have a Matric certificate.
Based on these records and further verification that has been conducted with Umalusi, which is at our disposal currently, We can confirm that Matthew Bongani Lani indeed does not possess a Matric certificate.
Amabhokobhoko azotholana phezulu neqembu laseFrance eStade de France eSaint-Denis khona eFrance ngesonto. Nangu ungoti wethu wezemidlalo uMawande Matheza.
UManilibok uzodlala indima enkulu kwi-quarter final yamabhokobhoko neFrance ngecawa. Umqeqeshi weMzansi uJacques Ninaba uthande yena namaqhinga akhe ngaphezu ko-Henry Pollard kulo mdlalo obalulekileyo. ULibok uzoncediswa nguKobus Reinach osiscrum half esinikwe umsebenzi sokunqanda umkhokheli weFrance uAntoine Dupont. UPollard yena kunye noFaf de Klerk bazoqala umdlalo emaplangeni. Iqela eliphumeleleyo kolu khuphiswano lizawudlala nenye phakathi kwe-England neFiji kumjikelo we-semi-final. Kwindebe yomhlaba yeqakamba, iProteas zibethe iAustralia ngemitsi 834 kumdlalo wazo eIndia. Udlale kakuhle uQuinton de Kock waqhoka ikhulu lakhe lesibini kule tumente. Kagiso Rabada yena wathatha oothinti abathathu. Umdlalo weProteas olandelayo ungolwesibini ozayo neNetherlands. Mawande Matheza, Eyewitness News Sport.
Like, share, subscribe. Nibe nembelasondo ephephile.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.